Hi everyone, it's getting close to Valentine's Day, so I'm going to bring in some supplies that you have seen before. I've used this various times on my channel, and I want to show you how you can just use your same supplies over and over and over to create a different card for different seasons. So we're using this embossing folder with a pretty sort of raised circle motif, and then we've got this Karen Burniston die set that I absolutely love. I've used in so many different ways. And so we're going to bring that in and use those happy cupcakes to create a Valentine's Day card. I've already cut down my papers. I've got a card base that flips up. I've got some different colors that I have already cut down. This card is a standard A2 size card, 5.5 by 4.25. And so I embossed the motif onto this really nice paper, but I want to bring out that pattern a little more. So I'm taking a small little mini ink cube, and I'm going to just brush it over the top of that raised area, and I'm using a very light hand to do this, just brushing it over the top to bring out that color and so that motif shows up. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to have everything all the same color. I like that it's a little bit different here and there. And then I went ahead and cut this part down so it's a 1/4 inch smaller than the total size of the card. So that puts it at 4 by 5.25. And then I just used my ATG tape runner and put tape on it. And then because it is not smooth, it's bumpy, I went ahead and added glue as well around it so that it will really stick down even though it's not flat paper with that embossing on it. I like how that a little bit of ink color on that raised part mimics that color that I mounted that on. Then I have another piece of beautifully textured cardstock, and I used my stitch die rectangle to cut a rectangle out. And because this is a textured paper, I'm adding glue to that too, and then centering it on that card, and then just placing it right down there. So I like that little bit of a contrast of those various shades of pink and peach. Okay, so here are the dies from the Karen Burniston set. I've already assembled one of the cupcakes, but I want to show you how to assemble that one. Just such an easy die set to use. This little curly Q. I'm looking at my other cupcake that you can't see right now, just trying to make sure that I don't make this one look exactly like the other one. So I'm kind of moving things around so that the curly Q's in a different spot, and the other items that go on it aren't exactly like the other one. And this little bow is just such a fun little embellishment that goes with this fabulous cupcake set. This set has cupcakes in 2 different sizes, and you'll see some of the smaller cupcakes that I'm going to use on the inside of that card. So I went ahead and cut the cherry in both green and red, then clipped off the stem on the red one, and then I'm just putting it on the green one so that that stem comes through. Now, I'm going to add glossy accents to that cherry because it just makes it so shiny, like a cherry, and also gives it a little bit of texture, as you can see in this one that's dry. I'll set that one to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and use the one that is already dry and put it on the cupcake too. I really like that glossy accents. Then I'm bringing in my other cupcake to make sure I put the cherry in a different spot and just make them look a little bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down one of the cupcakes flat onto the card, and I just test it with my sentiment to make sure that I get it positioned well, and then I'm going to glue that down. And then I'm going to bring in my other cupcake, and on this one, I'm going to put a foam tape on the back so that it is raised up off the card. That gives it a little bit of dimension. In my area, this card I would need to add some extra postage on. I went ahead and added that dimension so that I would make sure that that little fun point at the top of the cupcake had some dimension behind it so it wouldn't smash down. down. And so then we put those one right on top of the other. And I just love how that comes out and how that looks. And now I'm going to add that to my card base. And I probably should have added it before I put on the cupcakes because that extra dimension made it a little bit more tricky to add it down onto the card base. But it works like this too. And you can see that fun dimension behind that second cupcake on that card, and that's really fun. I'm using just a little strip of the paper I used on the front to add a little bit of embellishment to the inside of the card. I'm leaving it mostly blank so there's room to write a message. You know, if you've watched my channel, that Ann and I send a card every month to my mom and to my aunt, and so this is what we're sending them for Valentine's Day. And then this is the little tiny cupcake. I just think it's so cute. I think this set is so fun and so versatile. So now I'm going to add my sentiment, which is Happy Valentine's Day. I cut this out 3 times with my die cutter and then just glued the pieces together just so it's a little thicker and then is a little bit more dimension on there. Sorry about my head getting in the way. But then we just put that down and finish the card up. I forgot to show you on this card that I also have a little heart that was cut out with that sentiment that I put down between the 2 cupcakes down below. So you see that there on this one. On our first finished card are 2 different cards for Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll take the time to reuse some of your supplies to create some Valentine's cards. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.